You are live, sir.
Hello, everybody. I'm munching on ice, as I do a lot because I'm a little bit anemic. I guess that's what they tell me. But anyway, I feel good. God bless you, every one of you, name by name, person by person. Not only God bless you, God be you as you express your God self in the universe, and everybody around you will be reminded of their divinity because you are reminded of yours. I have a special guest with me tonight, one of my dearest friends on the planet. His name is Henry Penix. He's a man of God, a man of good works, good will, good mind, a very successful businessman. Attended the Higher Dimensions Ministry for many, many years, one of our largest givers, one of our most active members, and we've been friends for many, many years. He's an entrepreneur, has a lot of things going, but one of the things is soak, which we're going to talk to you about tonight. I'm titling this Happy New Year, Happy New You, which is a technology or a soak program that we're going to present to you tonight. I'm going to let him do it more professionally. My friend Michael Beckwith, I introduced them and he got Mike into this, and Michael has done it a couple of times or so. And thousands of people get helped, and we know you will too. But because these are depressing times, and holiday seasons can be a strangely anxious and depressing time for many people, and it is. We all have our share of bad days and sad days and mad days. And maybe you had a heated argument with a friend or a family member, or it's still got you in the depressing, angry funk. Or maybe you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed and can't shake the accompanying attitude of blandness. I sent this out to many of you today. When unhappy days try to take over, pause. Sit down, take a deep breath, go within so you don't have to go without. And this is what this is all about. There's an inner sound on the other side of the noise and nausea, or the nausea and the noise. There's a sound on the other side, and that is, that I believe, a divine reverberation for all of you. During this tense time, it's good to chill, but in January, we launched this entire 21-day, we've done the Daniels Fest for many, many years. And this year we're going to add this special meditative, affirmative time of reflection, deep inner contemplative awareness. When you just look at yourself, look at your soul, find where your syncopations are in the soul and in the self and in the psyche, and enter 2023 with a brand new energy of hope, positive reinforcement. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel better as yourself. We're going to help you walk through and navigate through the stress, the anxiety, the ambiguity of a new year. You never know it all was there, is coming. And it's going to be pretty eventful, 23 and 24, maybe two of the most eventful years in American history with regard to social, political, even theological and spiritual ambiances. You're going to want to be very attuned to who you are and who you aren't. So let me introduce you right away to the founder of the soul sound frequency technology. To me, at least, he introduced it to me, and I've been studying him and it now for a number of years. Members of my family has done likewise. But Henry's on with me tonight, and Malachi, you can make us. Let's see where you are. You're on StreamYard. Now I'm. Is that normal? Am I echoing anybody besides Henry?
I'm hearing you okay.
Malachi?
Yeah, you're fine. It's just when we add Henry, but you're still sounding fine to everyone else. What you have to do is just let Henry talk.
All right, just put Henry on. Now, I still hear you, but I see him. Henry?
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine, but I'm still bouncing on. I don't know what's making me now. I'm not echoing. I am an God, but something wrong with that one. Oh, no, I'm echoing again.
It's okay. It's something to do with your audio, Henry. I'm not sure what it is. When I mute your mic, it will stop, but it's totally fine. When you talk, when we need Henry to talk, I have control over it. So you can interview him and talk to him, and I got full control. You guys go for it.
Henry,
Yes, sir.
you hear me?
Yes,
Ladies
sir.
and gentlemen, meet Henry Penix. He's a preacher's kid. His mother is one of my favorite people on the planet as well. Sweetest is molasses. Just deep in God, deep in good, kind, generous, gentle, discerning, funny, witty, and I just adore her. She's in her 80s, but she looks like she's in her 60s. And that's because her spirit is just so grand and so glorious. He's a married man, wonderful. He's got a brand new son named Hudson. His wife are just precious, precious people. His children, he's a well-connected gentleman, both to God vertically and to humanity horizontally. Henry, open up your mouth and let God use your son. Say something other to us.
Hallelujah. I love you, CDP. Like you said, we've been friends for a long time, and it always makes for a great interview because we know just enough on each other to keep each other honest. So that's always good. But yeah, with my mom, shout out to her. She may be watching tonight. Her name is Jewel. She's the Jewel of the West Side. I love her deeply. She loves you like a son, Carlton, as well. And I always tell people when I grow up, I want to be just like her.
Well, tell me about soak. We've discussed it many times and for some years now. For people who've never heard of it, share it to liberty, and I'll ask what I think they might ask. And you explain what we just recorded last week.
One quick question. Henry, do you have devices or is it just on your laptop?
No, it's just on my laptop. I have no other microphones coming in.
Do you happen to have a headset?
I've got earbuds.
Will it plug in?
They won't plug in. They're
At Mac. YouTube. It's okay. Well, I'll keep doing it. That's what's causing it. It's something to do with the laptop device, but we'll keep going.
Okay. So yes, Carlton, thanks for that introduction, and a little bit about soak. Soak was used in a clinic in Tulsa, Oklahoma. About 8 years ago, we had the clinic open for 5 years, and people would come in and they would want help with anxiety, depression, insomnia, lack of energy, lack of focus, hormone balancing, all of that. And this clinic would provide different modalities to help solve those problems. And after doing it for 5 years, we found that the sound frequencies were one of the favorite modalities because they're non-invasive. People would actually come into this soak spa and sit down and put on the headsets and just listen to this frequency and music, and most would just drift away, go to sleep for a while, and wake up refreshed, renewed, no more anxiety, no more depression, et cetera, et cetera. So my wife came to me and she said, can we get this online? And this was even before COVID hit. And I said, yes, I would love that. You know, do you either want to build 500 new clinics or do you want to go online and offer it to the world? And so we spent about 2 years, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of monies making it available to the public so that what people were paying $1,000 in clinic, they could actually have in their phone. And we wanted to make sure that the modality tested like it did in the clinic and that everything was the exact same, except spending, you know, instead of spending $1,000 a month for it, we marked it at $29 a month and gave people the same outcomes. So that's probably been one of the most exciting things that I've been involved with in a while. And you know, as you know, I've had a few businesses. We've been around the world. We've been in all the Apple stores with some of our technologies and all of that. But this really, it's not the point that it just scales nicely and that it's a great business model. It helps people. Like it really helps people. So when we when we created the same experience outside of the clinic as you get in the clinic, we wanted to add a couple of things to it. We wanted to add where we send the user 2 positive affirmations a day we call mindful intentions, where it lifts your spirits throughout the day. You know, when you're getting in that funk, when you're wanting to kind of have a refresh or a reset of your mind, you get one of these positive mindful intentions. So we had the sound frequencies, the mindful intentions. The third item that we added is kind of like a master class. So we went around the world, we found some of the world's best speakers, thought leaders, experts, and like you said, your friend Michael Beckwith has done a couple of programs with us. You just completed one. We've had people all around the world complete these programs. And when you're a part of the SOAK ecosystem, you can go in and not only have access to all of those frequencies that help with depression, anxiety, insomnia, everything that I listed, but you can also listen to these 21-day programs that will further uplift you throughout the day. So for instance, your program, we did 21 days because it usually takes 21 days to create a habit, and you spoke on a specific topic, a new year, a new you. How do you have a new year? How do you reset your mind? How do you get that fresh, that refresh for the year and have the inspiration and aspiration to go forward and accomplish what you need to accomplish to attain your goals? So we did that with you, and you spoke about 2 to 3 minutes a day on a different subject matter for 21 days and made that part of the SOAK system that is delivered right to your mobile phone. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I know there's a lot of questions. I know we'll get deeper into each of those 3 modalities, but that's kind of it in a nutshell. Your friend Michael Beckwith, who's known, for his frequencies and meditations, he studied it for about 8 or 9 months before he would even put his name behind it, which I really appreciated about him. And now when he does his meditations at Agape International, there in Beverly Hills, he plays the SOAK sound frequencies behind his meditations. And it's gone all over the world, and we're in over 133 countries now. We've done over 15 million minutes of sound frequencies, and it's just been, it's exceeded our wild expectations, and we're just getting started. So we were honored that you made a program with us, and we're so excited to launch it as part of your 21-day Daniel's Fast, where they can also listen to your program for 21 days, listen to the SOAK frequencies, and totally refresh and change their mind for a new year, a new you.
Suicide rates are at an all-time high to those who are watching. You may know that. Even in the African-American community, they're 30% higher than normal. Young, old, male, female, the anxiety in our country and across the American culture is as tense as I've ever seen it. And I'm a man of faith. I've been teaching and preaching for 52 years, licensed and ordained, and have traveled the planet. And I've never seen a world as tense or intensely anxious as I'm seeing right now. And I say you must go within so you don't have to go without. Psychiatrists and psychologists are struggling. Therapists have therapists. We can't change what's happening right now, but we can decide how or adjust how we're going to respond rather than react to the tensions on the planet. That's what this whole SOAK, we're spelling it SOAAK, but you're actually soaking in what we call a baptism, which means to be whelmed over with presence, with spirit, with energy, with positive affirmations that fight or resist the deadly negative emotions that we're surrounded with politically, socially, religiously, financially. People don't know, even the experts don't know what to expect. So we're not going to let the outside circumstances define who we are or who we aren't. And we're not going to be reactionary in 22, 23, 24 and on. This is going to establish the technology within you. 21 days, we don't eat meat. We go on what we call the Daniel's Fast. I've done this for over 40 years. Grains and nuts, and sometimes we dig our graves with our forks and spoons. And the high sugar diabetes, especially again in the African-American culture, hypertension, high blood pressure, insomnia, weight issues, obesity, even bad eating habits. So we start out making declarations and proclamations to ourselves. You're literally speaking to yourself for 21 days and beyond, because we'll offer this probably again shortly thereafter, because I think you're going to love it so much you're going to want to be a part of it. So this is the way you self-medicate. Remember, when you're a little infant, many of us, millions of us, pull our thumbs to our mouths. Who tells us to do that? The infant feels deadly negative emotions or vibrations, sometimes for what the mother is thinking or the parents are discussing or arguing about. Many millions have come into this world feeling unwanted and unwelcomed, and they develop habits to cope with their anxieties, which they are prisons, are filled with men and women around the planet who never felt welcomed and wanted, and they don't like themselves. So this is going to help you like you. We don't want you to end up just liking us. We want you to end up liking you at a level you've never liked yourself before, experiencing yourself on a dimension you've never experienced yourself, and thus expressing yourself in the universe with a different kind of power, with a different kind of prophetic anointing, if I can use those semi-religious words. I think many of you know what I mean. You're sent here with mission, permission. Your mom and dad may have decided to have you, but God decided to send you. And you know you're sent, even though you don't know what you're sent to or where you're going. We're going to help you find your answers, because they're all in you. And it's going to be very, very powerful. So listen as we discuss even further how you can get involved. And Malachi, if anybody has particular questions, we can put them on the screen. And Henry, talk about your personal experience of this.
Also, real quick, Henry, is there a way we can tell as people are signing up for this tonight?
On their site.
Yes.
I want to know who's signing up, because I'm gonna try to talk CDP into giving somebody maybe a phone call if we get so many signed ups tonight or something special. Somebody can get a phone call from CDP. But I want to see some signups on this application tonight, because it's going to benefit you, but we're going to up the ante.
Yeah. No, that would be fantastic. You can only get on a wait list tonight because we're not launching it until January 1st.
Get on the wait list.
Yep. So that'll be with CDP when he kicks off the Daniels fast. We'll launch it the 1st of January, and we'll give all of the listeners who get on the wait list tonight, we'll give them the first shot of getting on and aligning themselves with that program starting the first day. So now you're going through those 21 days as a community with the help and the hope and the guidance of the frequencies, and listening to Bishop Pearson's 21-day program on there. So it's aligned beautifully. If they decide to stay on and they like the program, Carlton has also negotiated a 50% off discount, which it's CDP 50. You put that when it's time to sign up, you put that in, and it'll give you a 50% discount, but cost you nothing initially. It costs you nothing to get on the wait list, cost you nothing to try it out. There's even a free trial period. So we're not trying to get into your pocket. We're trying to affect your soul forever. And again, because we are such good friends, we trust each other implicitly. This is something that I'm very honored that Carlton is a part of. I know we actually sat down and did the program together. I listened to every word of it, every second of it, and there's some things in that program that I don't think people have ever heard about you, Carlton. You and I sat in my theater, and we were in a soundproof room. We recorded it all, and there was some things in there, some short stories about your life that totally inspired me. You start getting those chill bumps all over you, and I know it will be life changing for so many people. I'm just so excited to get this out. I wish we didn't have to wait till the 1st, but we're finishing it. We're putting the final touches on it in our master studio. And when you speak, there's actually a sound frequency behind what you're saying, and that frequency promotes mental clarity. So if anyone has ever had brain fog, or It's kind of hard to remember something. This sound frequency is behind Carlton as he speaks. So you're getting a session of mental clarity along with getting the inspiration from Carlton that will change parts of your life immediately when you listen.
And I want you to know, and I've been saying this this time last year, I told you that I expected that Queen Elizabeth might make her transition. I was hoping she'd live to 100 years, as most of the United Kingdom was. But in my soul, I felt that she might make her transition. In the beginning of each year, I always tell you what I feel for the year prophetically, just sort of predicting and forecasting and ruminating. Some of it I get at my discernment, some by observation. I mix those things together. And I sense that 23 will be a year with a lot of external convulsions. We're already having earthquakes. I told you just a few weeks ago, I felt this sense of earthquakes and volcanoes. I'm leaving for Chicago tomorrow. I hope I can come back on Friday. I have to do a memorial service, a funeral Thursday, and they're predicting a pretty severe blizzard. Temperatures will be down to zero here in Tulsa this weekend. And strange weather conditions, strange external things are going to be demanding. And I believe that our species is being upgraded and that everything, including global warming, is all a part, even the political upheavals, all the things that are happening in Washington and around in Ukraine and Russia and Iran and China, Iran and China. All this is part of the cleansing and the clearing and the correcting in the universe. It looks violent. It looks even vicious. But on the other side of this, and this kind of soaking in and feeling the frequencies and creating them, your frequency is what you think about most frequently. So we're getting you to rethink everything, re-envision, configure your own life in areas where that's necessary. People are going through changes. We can't predict the future. We just know we're going to be there. So we're going to help you be there. There'll be music. There'll be affirmations. Will be sent directly to your phone every day for 21 days. And I guarantee you that many of you at the end of the 21 days are going to go back into it again for probably parts of February and on through the year. I want you to call your friends. It doesn't matter who they are, members of your family, loved ones. Get them involved in this so we can start the year off, because we're saying new year, new you. Yeah. Happy new year, happier new you. Now, when I say happy, I mean you're going to be happening in the new year. It's not what's happening. It's that you're happening, that you exist, that you are occurring. You are an occurrence. You are moving and living, as the scripture says, in God you live and move and have or possess your being, your essence, your permanent rather than your accidental self. We're going to draw you into a different spiritual technology than the religious technology, which has run its course. People are not interested in religion. They're interested in relationships, beginning with themselves, not only to love yourself, but to like yourself. I'm still learning that, and I want you to learn, and we're going to learn together. We're going to I take cues, and I emailed this to you today, or I posted it. I take cues from successful people like Walt Disney, who said happiness is a state of mind. I believe it. It's just according to the way you look at things. And then Albert Einstein said, a calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success combined with constant restlessness. And he knows what that was. Jesus said in scripture, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give you as the world gives. So don't let your hearts be troubled. Don't be afraid. Take the time, I'm adding this, to celebrate all the happy times, past, present, and future. A short quote from musician Bobby McFerrin. You've all heard it. Don't be worried. Don't worry. Be happy.
Be happy. I love that.
Don't worry. Be happy. Now, sometimes we do both. And sometimes we're trying to find happiness in the worry. But we're saying worry is a serious waste of time. It's a waste of your energy. Take the energy of worry and put it into the energy of reclaiming, reconnecting with your better rather than your bitter self. I know a part of me is bitter. I've been through bitter experiences. And I know what forgiveness is: giving up the right to be right, giving up the right to be hurt, not the reason, giving up the right to be angry, not the reason to be angry, but I'm giving up those kinds of rights because there's too much power in that. Anger is powerful. Viciousness and anxiety and vindictiveness is very powerful. So take the power out of all those temptations, put it back in your soul, in your psyche, and live in sync with the better part of your essence. You're going to learn all these things. I promise you, by the time you finish 21 days on Soak and start navigating through the frequencies that come, you're going to really realize that this is something you really want to do. Soak sound frequency technology. I experienced it the first time 3 years ago. So you're going to find an aspect of yourself that you're going to love and like, and you're going to want to share it with others. Henry, tell them about the first time you had this experience. I got to meet one of the founders there in the clinic. She's moved away, I think, to another state, but what a sweet, precious lady. I was pretty fascinated. There's a science to it, and there's a spirituality or mysticism. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, everything has frequency. And when God said, and then it was, the frequency of that word vibrated in nothingness, and then things became. That's so powerful. If people just think about that frequencies have been around forever, and there's a frequency in everything we have. There's a frequency to a solid wooden table. There's a frequency in a vitamin C pill. There's frequency in every one of your organs. Your heart has a certain frequency that it beats at. That's a perfect frequency. So does your liver. So does your spleen. So do your kidneys. And what we were able to do at Soak is use modern day technology to bring ancient principles to somebody's mobile phone. So when somebody is off frequency and they're not aligned with the perfect frequency of maybe an organ or a thought process or anxiety or depression or any of that, insomnia, all that's because your frequencies, your cells are not aligned correctly. They're out of whack. It's almost like a square tire. You're thumping along. You're not rolling in with a smooth frequency. You're bumping along. What we were able to do is create compositions of frequencies that are scientifically proven, that when you combine these particular frequencies, and this is sort of our trade secret, you can play a frequency in your ears that your body and your cells hear. That is the antidote of anxiety. So if anxiousness is giving you the square tire, the frequencies will smooth it out, and it will bring you back to homeostasis or equilibrium, where now you're moving right along. We believe that the body is fearfully and wonderfully made. And if we can bring those cells back into alignment, if we can remove the rough edges on that square tire and get you where you're cellularly and cellularly, which you told me, CDP, cellularly aligned, then your body has the power to heal itself. You don't have depression anymore. You won't have anxiety anymore. You can sleep better. One of our best and most highest rated out of 15 million minutes of digital frequencies, one of our highest listened to one is our sleep well frequency. So that's a frequency that if you're up at night, your mind is racing, you've got all these thoughts, you can listen to this frequency from any speaker. You can listen to it through an Alexa device. We're partnered with Amazon Alexa. You can listen to it through Roku. You can listen to it on your iPhone app. You can listen to it on an Android app. Anything you have, headsets, no headsets, bone conducting headsets, whatever you want to use, as long as you're hearing that frequency, you become aligned to be in line with what you want, not what you don't want. So when these symptoms come up, and again, the square tire, I keep getting that vision in my head. When these symptoms come up and you're out of whack and you listen to the antidote of that, then you become aligned and you sleep well. Just sleeping better, just having a good night's sleep will get rid of a lot of anxieties, depressions, and other disorders that some, and I'm not against the medical community at all. When you need certain things, you need it, and I get that. But we take more of a holistic approach, that if we can address something with the frequency that brings you back in line and let the body heal itself, to me, that's the number one solution, and that's what everybody said in our clinic. So anyway, that's just a little of the science, a little of what it does, and the future. Scientists are saying now that frequency will be the future medicine. It will feel so archaic. Of, you mean I used to take that and that and that, and I've got 10 medications I got to take every day, when you could just use a frequency to align your cells at a certain level that will eliminate a lot of those painful things that come in your life?
Well, this amazing technology is clinically proven to increase energy, focus, mood, while addressing issues like anxiety and stress and depression and restlessness and insomnia. More money is spent on, watch this is fascinating. I did the research to find out that billions of dollars are spent every year on sleeping aids. People can't sleep. One of the other highest costs for meds is medication to make you cry or to have tears. People are spending billions of dollars because they can't cry. Something to moisturize their eye. They can't release the emotions or the commotions or the devotion. So it's clogging up, causing headaches and restlessness. When you tune into the right frequency, and again, that's what you think about most frequently, because thoughts are creative, they're powerful, they're literally inventive or preventive. Your thinking, when you get your thinking aligned with the chemicals or the chemistry and the cells and the soul and the psyche and or spirit, you become a giant spiritually. You become a giant psychologically. You become a giant in self-worth. I mean, you put more value on yourself, and then the things that are assigned to you come in alignment with you, whether that's money, relationships, rest, physical acumen. You'll be able to exercise and work out better. Again, when you get away from so much heavy meat and get more to a plant-based diet, it doesn't happen overnight, but you will evolve into this, because this is a life change, not just the 21 days. This is going to start you and initiate you and inspire you and encourage you. But then I'm telling you, by the time you finish this period, it's going to have done such a deep inner work. And then the energy and vibrations you create in the frequencies of your psyche are going to influence the people around you. And very
what I love about this, Carlton, if I could say just one more thing, we almost named this program, we named it A New Year, A New You, which I love.
Yeah.
But we almost named it Unconditional Love, because when I think of your story and think of the, Netflix made a movie out of your life, when I think of that, of course, I lived through it with you. I attended that church. I saw the mass exodus. I saw the recovery. I saw how you treated people afterwards that didn't treat you very well. You never lost that unconditional love for people. And in my mind, very selfishly, when I was interviewing you, I wanted to know, how can I get that mindset? Like, you're one in a billion. I mean, we all are, but the way you handle those things, I was thinking very selfishly, if we could combine that thought process and a 21-day teaching on how to release the toxic energy of your past and how to let go of that baggage to start moving forward in your future with such a positive momentum, unconditional loving spirit like you have, then you combined it with the frequencies that are clinically proven to also change you at a cellular level. That is the trifecta. You've got the intentions, the 21-day programs, the frequencies, but to model it after someone like you, and to learn what you did to arguably go through one of the most difficult times I've ever seen anybody go through. And you didn't just do this in a corner by yourself. You were on the stage at ABC, NBC, CBS. You had the world coming after you. And to get through just that, if I didn't hear anything else but that story and learn what you did and how you did it, that's enough for me. You had all this other stuff on it, and if people don't change, it's because they don't want to change.
Yeah.
I mean, this was probably one of the happiest days of my life to have gone through this process with you and hear those stories and hear how you did it in such a selflessness, in such a loving way. It just when I think about it, I get very emotional because I don't know anyone else like you, and I'm glad we're friends, and I'm glad you did this because the world will be better for it.
Albert Einstein said no problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. Most of the problems in our lives, we in some way or another helped create them. Same with the solutions and the resolutions. I had to personally navigate, and you were right there with me, Henry, through all these years. It's been 20 years since I've gone through this major shift in consciousness, expanding it. Yeah. I never allowed hostility or anger to take up residence in my consciousness. I'd even let it rent a room. It could walk through and want to see how I was doing and all. But I said, get the hell out. You can't live here. You could stay for a little bit. Yeah. And I do that every day because you can't solve the same problem from the same consciousness that created it. One of the things I want us all to be thinking about, starting really right now, but as we go into the new year, is how powerful our consciousness is to create or recreate, procreate or co-create the reality we want. Mm-hmm. We are that powerful. The closest identification when it says that we're made in the image and likeness of the gods, according to the Hebrew Bible, that would mean the closest thing to God we can become is creative. That's our primary trait, divine trait, that we're not just created beings, we're creative beings and creating beings. Even now, our body is creating energy and saliva and moisture and bodily fluids from urine to spit, excuse the terminology if that makes some of you uncomfortable, but you're creating that automatically. Our objective is to get you to do it intentionally, to create deliberately, to create on purpose with purpose. So pulling yourself in alignment with your purpose or your destiny or your assignment for being here. And you often hear me quote Mark Twain, who said the two most important days of your life is the day you're born and the day we realize why. One of the things you're going to find out, because you're curious about, why are we here? We've lost a lot of loved ones, a lot of peers. I think I was telling you the other day, Henry, about I've lost Carmen and Matthew, who traveled with me. You remember, on the organ, and Jerome, and just these are people that were involved in my life and up close. But Miles Monroe, I mean, but the question is not why are they gone? The question is, why are we still here? Yes. We're not dead because we're not done. And they're not really dead. They've gone to their next iteration, their next dimension. But I think when you get involved in this and your frequency starts speaking to you, I think we'll actually carry on conversations with frequencies, in frequencies, with frequencies, because frequencies are conscious of their existence. Consciousness is conscious. An idea is conscious. A little piece of gravel or ravel on the clothing has a consciousness to it. Everything is alive. So what you're going to do is come alive afresh, come alive anew, come alive powerfully in ways that you want to, in ways that you need to, in ways that you get to.
What I loved about this the most was when we were going through the 21 days and you were recording the little 2-3 minute vignettes that we send people every day during the 21 days. The first 3 or 4 was talking about, you growing up and experiencing some things in your youth. But when you got into the teachings about the the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th day, and then all the way through the 21 days, when you started speaking in those little vignettes, it reminded me of being in church back then, where I had some of my biggest growth. I had some of my, the reason you mentioned earlier that I was a significant giver in the church, it's because those things I was hearing that you were teaching, I was actually putting into practice, and I actually believed it. And when I believed it and put it into action, it changed my life. And it has been the cornerstone of the growth that is taking me from literally nothing. I tell people we were so poor that when we went into Kentucky Fried Chicken, we had to lick other people's fingers. We came from that standpoint to being able to buy Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like all of a sudden I'm representing people at the United Nations, and I'm talking about people who own countries, about putting an infrastructure in a country to run it. I mean, I can't even take credit for that. I know it's the gift from God, and I learned those things from those little vignettes that I would listen to, that you would teach. And when I heard you create the soak sound frequencies with the science, with the spirituality, with everything that backs it, I started feeling that again, and I started absorbing that, because your energy and your frequency, just from speaking, we've got the actual frequency from soak, but the frequency that you were speaking was ministering to my cells and my soul, and it changed me yet again. So there's such power in that, and it's just so exciting to release this to the world and let them hear those same things that one changed my life forever, but now is in tune and in time with today's consciousness and with today's spirituality, not religion, but spirituality, that will then change other people's lives forever. I just love it. I love everything about it.
Well, you're talking out of experience too. I remember the time you at one of our Azusa conferences, I think it was, you handed me a check for $10,000, which completely blew. We were on the stage in front of thousands of people, and I said, "Is this a tithe?" I thought maybe you had got $100,000 done. You were handing me a tithe of it. He said, "No, this is a donation. This is a tithe on what I want to earn this coming year." Right. You wrote the check out in April for what you expected to, and you weren't a millionaire then.
Right.
I mean, you were struggling like most of the people at that time were struggling, and now you are.
My hands were shaking so bad, and I almost didn't do it like 10 times. But I had to push through and say, I either believe it or I don't. And to me, for a lot of people, money represents a lot of things in their life. Money represents your equity, your sweat equity. It represents everything. And you choose where to put your money. Do you want to buy food, clothing, shelter? What do you want to do? So it represents a lot of who you are. And when you hear the saying, put your money where your mouth is, like, that means a lot. So when you make a statement with money, that money represents the totality of who you are. So when I got in my mind, well, if people are tithing off of certain things, and we were taught tithing 10%, so on and so forth, why wouldn't I give that in advance? Why wouldn't I put my faith in action in advance, and not put me on the hook, but put God on the hook? It's like I want to tithe into what I want, not what I have. The ultimate expression of faith with the totality of who I am. And I did that, and we're doing it with soap. We're putting that thing out there. We're paying millions to get it going and to get it where it's delivered right to your device, knowing that the seed that we plant is going to reap the happiness and the fulfillment and the peace of mind, the ridding people of anxieties. We put all this online, Carlton, about 6 months before COVID even hit. A lot of people reacted to COVID by putting things online, and I think that's great. But COVID hadn't even hit. We just had this desire to put it online so that people wouldn't have to go into the clinic. They wouldn't have to go to a therapist's office. They wouldn't have to, a lot of times when you're having trouble, it's 10, 11, 12 at night, 1, 2 in the morning, you can't
You're by
sleep.
yourself.
There's not an office open. There's nowhere to go. But when you can pull up a clinic in your earpiece and get it right then when you need it, on top of everything else that we offer, I think that's going to help people all over the world. And that was the main reason we did it. We did it to reach out and help someone. And we did it by faith, putting our own money into it, putting our own sweat equity into it, the totality of who we are, because it's the totality of what we believe. And then conversing with someone like you to add a program to all of that. Anyway, people are going to love it. That's all I can say. I get so excited. Sometimes I talk a little too long, but I know it works. I've experienced it. I've been through years with you. I know what your words mean, what they say. I know what you're talking about when you can act in unconditional love to people that have spit on you. And for me to learn that alone was worth everything. So we've got the total package here.
Well, as has been said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This isn't philosophy. This is physics. That was somebody channeled that into our planet and spoke it out in a powerful way. People give Albert Einstein a lot of credit for that, but it was another mystic that I love to follow, who said though, and those words are very powerful, and I'm thinking about them. We'll add those in other affirmations as we deal with frequency. And again, I'm saying what the frequency you create is based on what you think about most frequently, because what you think about, you bring about.
Yes.
And you're going to go into a mystical reality, and a mysterious the missed story about who you are, things you've missed about yourself, things that you do miss about yourself, and you want to reconnect and recollect and remember your dismembered self. That's the long term as well as the short term objective. Let's tell people, direct them to the links, Henry, and how they can start signing up tonight in advance, because we're going to start. I know there's still food around January 1st. Just don't eat the meat if you're going to eat it all. I usually completely abstain from food, all food, except water. The first 3 or 4 days or 5 days. After about 3 days, you need to start drinking. You can start drinking fruit juice or whatever, but no meats, just fresh fruit and fresh vegetables and raisins and seeds and grains, pecans and things like that. You lose weight, you gain energy, your digestion changes. If you're on meds, you'd have to talk to your doctor about that kind of thing. But we're going to guide you through it. And I think you'll be able to contact, because even the things you eat have vibration and frequencies that you take into your body. Some of the orthodox medicine is just even things like just regular white sugar. Ain't nothing wrong with brown sugar, but sugar and stuff like that. And meds are poisons. You're filling yourself. I mean, they're over-the-counter doctor prescribed medicines. Some of them, when you get so addicted to them, they become a dictator. They dictate what they speak to your cells. That those meds and foods can speak to your cells and command them or dictate them how to get twisted up and create disease or dis-ease. So we'll be teaching on all of this throughout the year, but we're going to really do it in the month of January. My Tuesday night live streams will be talking about better ways of eating and digesting and diet habits and changes, all of this to embrace your better self. It's going to be very, very powerful. Let's tell the folk how they can do it.
Carlton, I wanted just to share something really quick, and I know we'll wrap this up, but we've done a lot of studying on, medications, holistic ideas and all of that, and had a lot of very smart doctors around us, holistic practitioners, nurses, MDs, DOs, all of that. And it's amazing. I was reading a study the other day, and it was talking about how people will be given certain medications. They did a control group where they had so many people, and they gave half of them medications and gave the other half a sugar pill with absolutely nothing in it. And they told them all that they were taking the same medication that would fix, ABC disease, whatever that disease was. And they had nearly the same results as the people that were taking the medication versus the people that were taking the placebo or the sugar pill, because it was what you think about, you bring about, what you just said. They even had shared with me that some people had gone in for a surgery. The doctor absolutely did nothing, but told them they had a surgery to cure XYZ, and they came home cured. Like they had no more feeling. So to your point, when you get your mind right, you get your life right. We were fearfully and wonderfully made, and we can create. We were made as co-creators, as the creator. When we were created by the creator, we're co-creators. That's our number one attribute, as you were saying. So why not create purposefully? Why not create? Why not get in that mood and that mode of creating and create the life you want, free from pain and sickness and dis-ease? Why not create the life you want with the power you've been born with?
Yes.
You don't have to go get it anywhere. You've been born with it. It's innate. You never have to ask a kid, did you read a book on how to walk? No, you just got up and walked, because it's innate. Did you go to a conference on how to ride your bicycle? Did you buy the 10-step book? No, it's innate. It's what you were born to do. We were born to be fearfully and wonderfully made. We were born to have a creative side of us that can create our future, good or bad. So why not get your mind right and create the future you want?
And it's
this program. That's what we do.
The nature, as you said, it's innate, but this soap thought technology nurtures the purest nature of your soul. Yes. The first medical experts were considered witches and warlocks. The first women who tried to find something to deaden the pain of woman in childbearing were called witches, and they were. And some people online think this is witchcraft. You're so out of touch with the spiritual and scientific realities that create this world. When Oral Roberts built a hospital after laying hands on people for 40 some years for miraculous healing, he realized that more people are treated successfully in hospitals than healing crusades, because he bridged science and prayer, or science and spirituality together. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing science. This is a science. This is a technology. This whole frequency and vibrations and energy, those are languages that religious people freak out over. And that's why religion is sluggish and overweight. Religion is obese. It's like the fig trees that Jesus cursed, because all they had was leaves and no fruit.
No fruit. Millions
have left religion because they saw the plush leaves and the greenery that looked like life. When they got there, they didn't really see love, joy, peace, long-suffering. They saw judgmentalism and criticism. So we're inviting people into a relationship first with yourself, inwardly. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, and love God first and your neighbor as yourself. So you can't love God without loving you. And you can't really love you without loving your neighbor or nearby. That's what the word comes from in English. That which is nearest you. Some of you don't like your spouse and you sleep beside them every night. You don't like your children and you eat at the table, or you don't like your siblings. You work with people that you create and cooperate in huge corporations and businesses and offices, or what do you call the when people stand in line and do stuff? So assembly lines.
Yep.
You're assembling things together with people who you don't even like. Sometimes you don't even know them, but you're creating together. What if we like each other and get to know each other and stay on this assembly line, creating things that makes the world a better place to live in? We're going to do that.
Yes. So anyway, how do you get signed up for Soak? Again, it costs you nothing up front. We're doing a 7-day free trial. We haven't even released the program yet. Carlton's program, we're going to release it January 1st. So if you want to get involved with this tonight, just to check it out, you don't have to pay anything, none of that. Just get on the wait list. You'll get some information about it. And then come January 1st, when we release it and put it live online, you click it, you sign up for it, you get the 7-day free trial. If you love what you're experiencing and it's helping you along this 21-day Daniel's fast, stick with it. If it doesn't, walk away from it.
Yeah.
We charged $800 to $1,000 a month in clinic for this very same thing without Carlton's program. Now we've got it for $29.99 a month with his program, and he's negotiated a 50% off discount because of our relationship, and we're doing that for people to give them the hope and the help they need. So that means for $14 and some change, if you want to stay on it, that's the investment. It's $14. It's no contract. You cancel it whenever you want to. I don't want to keep anybody there that does not want to be there. I want people there that are getting the help and the hope and the love and the support, and that this really helps. The money, if we could do it for nothing and cover our costs, we would. That's how much I want to get this out to the world, and that's why we lowered the price of an $800 to $1,000 a month deal to $14.99. Something that's nothing. It's nothing.
It's almost unbelievable. And the gracious doctor that led me and guided me through my first experience of with frequencies on soak, I fell asleep, and I apologized to her after I woke up. I said, "Ma'am, I hope I wasn't too bored." She says, "Oh no, this is what we wanted to happen. We wanted you to rest and relax and relinquish. Right. You'll rest better now." And I mean, my body just felt both cool and warm at the same time. And I went someplace, Henry.
Right.
I went someplace, and I was happy to come back because I had work to do, but it put me on another dimension, another level, another floor, another space, another place. And so, and then you get to the place where you can carry and create those spaces, right, and places, absolutely, and frequencies every day.
Yep.
And there's music, behind it. We're going to add more. It's just going to be a wonderful way to start 2023 and to end it.
Yes.
A different person. Happy New You, Happy New Year, happier, happening. You're going to be cool for the first time in your life. I mean,
you're going to be cool as Carlton.
Yeah, I hate to say it that way, but you're going to get your stuff, your shift, HIFT, shift together. The country is shifting. The culture is shifting. Consciousness is shifting. We want to help you make this shift holy. And you're going to be saying, holy shift, look what the Lord had did for me.
Your shift has come in.
Yeah. Yeah. Here it is. This is the shift. I'm doing this feeling prophetic drives and leadings and strong impressions for your life, for your soul, for your psyche, that you would live in sync with the destiny assigned to you. It's not just the destination, it's the destiny. It's not just the coronation or the destination, it's the journey that we want to help you with, and we're going to. All right. Again, what do we need to add to this, Malachi, so people can know how, because we're out of time? The links and all that stuff. We put it up on the screen.
The links are actually posted, and we could put it on the screen. But one thing Henry sent to me, was a brief piece of you speaking so people can get to hear it. So I think we should let people hear some of that.
Yeah, play a little sample of it. Yeah, that would be great.
Good. I haven't heard it.
How can others shift their thinking and get through difficult times? What practical application would you suggest for others to actually create that shift in their thinking to get through difficult times?
Thoughts are creative and inventive. They can also be preventive. They're quite powerful. What you think about, you bring about. Scripture talks about the renewing or the redoing, literally the renovation of the mind, which is the seat of your reflective conscience. You have to open the mind for evolution and help control the thoughts or contain the thoughts. You have to be careful what images you allow to rest in your mind, because images are like magnets. They literally draw you to them. If you imagine yourself defeated, if you imagine yourself the victim and let victim consciousness overwhelm you, that's what you become. You become what you think about. You become what you fear. As Job said, the thing I feared most has come upon me. So stay away from terror or phobias or fear and replace fear with faith. Fear is faith in reverse. Fear of a storm is faith in its power to destroy you. Fear of a serpent is faith in its power to harm you. So be careful how you take the energy of fear and how you add faith to it and create what you experience. You are in control of what happens to you and how you respond to it.
So
Wow.
that,
Sign me up. Who was that?
that was just a little bit of one day, and there's 21 days of that teaching, and it was beautiful. The music you heard behind it was mixed with multi layers of frequencies that if you felt
Intentional.
when you were listening to it, if you felt that little bit of relaxation, that was already your cells becoming aligned with that frequency, and every day that will happen to you.
And you can see the visuals on your phone.
Yeah, the visuals were added by Malachi. We didn't put visuals on the phone because a lot of people do this maybe when they're driving or they're doing some other things. We just did the audio. Visuals were added by Malachi just now, which was a great job, Malachi. I love that.
Wow, I love that, dude. I didn't know you knew anything about machinery. That was beautiful. And by the way, these are archived, so you can listen to it more than once.
Yes.
Yeah, and just let, because you'll miss something each time, or remember something each time that you didn't the last, even though they're short, sometimes 3-minute long affirmations. And we're going to add more, and this is going to be the wisdom and the insight of what I call Holy Spirit is going to enhance the experience for you and for us. And we're going to grow together and make 2023 the most positively powerful and prophetic year that we've experienced, because we're doing it intentionally and deliberately rather than accidentally. There's a permanence to your soul. That's your infinite self. You want the permanent you, not the accidental you. That infinite, that means without finish. A finite thing is finished, has an end. That's why you don't want anybody to define you, because they put limits on you. So this is the limitless you that keeps going. Things evolve, things dissolve, and you stay in the flow. I heard Oral Roberts say one time, I don't even know how to arrive. I just know how to keep on going.
Yeah.
That was a powerful statement for me, and I heard it way back in 1975, and I've never forgotten it. I don't know how to arrive, but I do want to keep on going. That's what we're going to help you go better and not bitter. All right. So if we sign up today, will our 7-day, there was a question, our day free trial start January 1st? Yes, it will.
Yeah. You can only get on the wait list today. So get on the wait list today, and then we'll send you instructions on signing up and kicking that all off. And it will start January 1st. Carlton wanted to hold this till January 1st so that everybody could start the same day, same level, have an entire community doing this together.
And finish your Christmas food and activity, and then into the new year pensively contemplate, with contemplation, deep reflection. Try to find quiet spaces and places, even if you have to go sit in the car because there's too much confusion in the house, and listen to this. Or find a place on the job where you want to hear it again. You have some kind of intense encounter. Go in the back, sit on the stool if you have to, and just let this thing just flow through you. I think you'll find it beautiful, bountiful, and an amazing blessing to you. That's what we want to be. $14 something a month. That's not even $1 a day. So you can do that.
You also get our 30 frequencies, like we mentioned the frequencies that are anti-anxiety, anti-depression, insomnia. We've got all these, but we've got hormone balancing. We have a wealth and prosperity frequency. We have all these things. There's 30 of them, all 30 that we had in our clinic. You get access to those every day, 24/7.
Wow.
You get it. You couldn't even use it all in 6 months, but it's there. It's whatever outcome you want. You find the frequency that matches that, and then you'll immediately start feeling that, and that frequency that's ministering to your cells. You'll automatically start feeling that and get it connected. So if people go tonight, they can sign up on the wait list. If they happen to go ahead and sign up for SOAP, just use CDP 50 and you'll get a discount on your first year, your first month anyway, every month. It's a lifetime discount. So it'll never go up.
Wow.
But if you get on, make sure you put in CDP, Carlton's initials, 50, to get that 50% discount. And then you can start the program January 1st when everybody starts the fast. So, Malachi's got it on the screen right there. The Daily Soak, dailysoak.com, SOAAK /a-new-year-a-new-u-.
Take your phone and snap a picture of that wire. Henry, somebody says, Henry, have you gotten any inquiries from corporations? My job offers all employees access to the call mat. I'd love for companies to offer this technology. That's a great idea. I'm sure you're working on it.
We call that a B2B customer, business to business. So yes, if anybody has a business that they want us to talk to get this into, we are most compared, like globally, we are most compared to Calm. Sometimes we're compared to Headspace, but mostly compared to Calm. Calm just does meditation. We do frequency, and you can meditate with the frequencies, and we have the daily affirmations that are sent to you, and we have the 21-day immersion programs. So Calm's not going to be calm for long when they see SOAP.
You hear that, Dion? Dion's the one who asked the question. That's good. That's good.
I didn't see that last question, Henry. Something. Was there a question? Oh yeah, corporations. Yeah. Just let us know. Go to info@soap.com and we'll be happy to talk to your company about bringing that in.
So many people are saying, I want in. When do I sign up? How do I get on? We're going to present this every week now, going up and during the month of January. If you don't get it in January, you might want to get it in February, because we'll be ready again for something. And the numbers will get larger, but the intensity will become more, have a deeper flow into your soul, because we're going to grow and expand and flow. And we're not just going to go with the flow. We're going to grow with the flow.
We're going to create the flow.
When it becomes
We're going to create the flow.
We're going to create the flow. I love that. That's the kind of power you're going to have. You're going to get your power back. Get your power back. You gave it away to fear. You gave it away to something, some problem, some issue. You gave it away to COVID. You gave it away to the pandemic. You gave it away to some financial trauma. Get your power back and reclaim it. Remember your dismembered self with all the power that is, as Henry said, innately is yours.
And Carlton, when people get distracted with anxiety, depression, insomnia, they can't be their best selves. And this is all part of our plan, is bringing everything into a cellular and cellular, like you said, alignment. And when you're properly aligned, everything else works. Pastor Don, you had a question. What's the time zone thing? That's a question in our app that it depends on your time zone as to when you receive your positive affirmations every day. So we send them twice daily. We just want to know your time zone to know what time to send it. You can actually schedule when you want to receive a positive affirmation every day. So maybe a low point in your day, if it's 8 in the morning or 10 in the morning or 12 noon, say you want to receive one of those then, and maybe you want to receive one at 10 or 11 at night right before you go to sleep. You can set that up. It's all
Wow.
custom. It's all we've spent a lot of time doing this correctly, and to really bless people. So we're very excited. But yeah, Carlton, when people aren't distracted with anxiety, depression, insomnia, all of that, hormone imbalances, all of that takes you away. Think about if you didn't have to worry about all of those things, what it would do to you as a person. If you didn't have all that baggage pulling you to the left and to the right and trying to throw you off course, how powerful and strong could you be? What could you do every day with an extra 40, 50, 60% energy? Like, what could you do with that energy? Would it help? What would you do if you didn't have brain fog anymore? That you could think clearly, that you could think about 10 things at the same time and get them all done. Like, how would that change your life? And how would it change the life of people around you? Don't do this just for yourself. Do it for your family.
Include them, yeah, and include
your family. Yes.
Jessica McKinley Smith. She just said, I'm on the wait list and received a confirmation email. I look forward to using this beautiful tool. Thanks for sharing. Dion had said, soak in the flow.
Yeah,
They're doing it. This is so good. It's going to be fun, folks. We want you to enjoy yourself and your soul and your syncopations at a level that you never have. And it's going to not only add years to your life, but life to your years.
Oh, I love that.
All right. We've gone over a little bit, but this is all good. I'm feeling very good in my spirit. Feel good about you. I love you all very dearly. Thanks, Dion. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Pastor Don. You're always faithful in here. I found it. Glad you found it, Dion. Liz, bless you. Cindy, Sharon, Kat. Wow. This is beautiful. God can't be left out, Kat. There's not a spot where God is not. To the pure, all things are pure. So you don't have to find God. Be God. Be good. Absorb it. Like, do you have to look for air? No, you don't have to look for God. God is with you, in you, as you, expressing itself through you and to you. So don't panic. Where's God? Where's Jesus? None of them need your help. Okay? Just relax. I'm with you always, Jesus said, even to the end of the age. We've come to an end of an age and the end of a year. I'm with you always. Let's go into the next year with the always of Jesus, the alwaysness of God and good and mystical remembrances of the soul and self. It's powerful. All right. Peace and blessing to you all. As I always say, God bless you and God be you. Be your God self. I know you will. Thanks, Henry. You're a genius.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you more, buddy. Kiss your mom for me if you see her before I do, and tell her Merry Christmas. And I got a sweet potato pie waiting for her.
She will hold you to that. That's her favorite.
I take fried potatoes that I borrow. So. All right. All right. Thank you. We love you all. We can go out with the last of that song, Christmas song. Yeah, man. Hug yourself. Thank you, Brenda. Don't forget New Dimensions too, folks. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Dion. Happy that we introduced him to you, Henry. Ruth. Thanks for this tool, this technology. Welcome, Marie. Looking forward to becoming the best man. I love that, Marie.
I love that, yeah.
Where you become and experience the best. Expose, express the best. Thanks, Liz. Soak.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Man, thanks, Ray.